Bunny Tears. What's cracking, Bunny Ballers? My name is Bunny Tears. Welcome to my theories on traveling back in time video, almost a sub-video of my mind-blowing facts series, because I did a mind-blowing time travel facts video about, I don't know, 4 or 5 days ago, so this is kind of a sub-video of that, because I was talking about the facts before, whereas now I want to talk about the theories. The theories can be a lot more interesting, so that's why we're here. But as always, first thing is first, this is a demolition on Turbine. It was myself and Y2 Canyon, aka Tokyo Sex Whale, aka the Grand Canyon, whatever you want to call him. It was just us two in this demolition. Now, this is a perfect example of how it doesn't matter how small your team is, so long as you're communicating well, you're going to smash the opposition. So watch carefully as we destroy this opposition, even though there was only us two in this game and the rest were just random. So enjoy that while I talk to you about the theories on traveling back in time. Now, the thing I want to talk about mostly in this video isn't the theories on how we could travel back in time. It's more the theories of what would happen if we did travel back in time and started trying to mess with shit. Is basically what this video is going to be about. So the first thing I'm going to start with is the grandfather paradox, because if I didn't start there, a lot of what I'm about to say wouldn't make sense. So the grandfather paradox is the idea that if you were to travel back in time and kill your own grandfather, how or what or why, there's no way to describe it, like what, I suppose, what would happen? If you went back and killed your own grandfather, that means that you would have never been able to be born because your grandfather wouldn't have given birth to your parent, and your parent wouldn't have given birth to you, but you are present there when you kill your grandfather. So what would happen? One of the theories is that as soon as you kill your grandfather, you just vaporize. You just disappear. Completely disappear. No one remembers you ever existed, and that's it. That's the end of you, because you've killed your grandfather. The second theory is that by going back in time, you have essentially entered a completely different dimension. Meaning that it doesn't matter what you change in this world that you've just traveled back to, it will make no difference to the original world that you just left. It would just end up becoming two different parallel universes going along the same timeline. So the world you've traveled to where you've killed your grandfather, everything would continue as normal, you will have never been born, but you would still be in that place. This kind of freaks me out, because you will have killed your grandfather, which means your birth is impossible. However, because you've already traveled to this place and you are there physically, you will technically exist in a world where you were never meant to exist in, because it's a different dimension. However, if you were able to look back at the dimension you just came from, you will have been born, but you will have also got into a time machine and disappeared. So people will know that you existed at some point. Nothing will change on their side of things either. However, you just won't be there because you've got in a time machine and gone back in time. But the one theory I want to talk about the most in this video, though, is the theory that you would be able to travel back in time. It would be the same dimension as the place you just came from. However, it wouldn't be possible for you to change anything no matter how hard you tried, because the grandfather paradox is a paradox. It doesn't make sense. And in the same way that 2 plus 2 is 4 and not 5, something that doesn't make sense just doesn't exist in our universe. So far, anyway. Something that isn't mathematically happening, or isn't happening because of reactions between certain substances, just doesn't exist. So you would go back in time, you would try your absolute hardest to kill your grandfather, but you would never be able to do it. Or you'd end up killing someone who you thought was your grandfather, but it ended up it wasn't, and everything would play out in the exact same way it did before. The Butterfly Effect is a good film to watch for this, because he continues to go back in time. He does change things, but it never ends up the way he wants it to be. Also, another great film for this, I'm not sure what it's called. It had Jake Gyllenhaal, and it was about a train and going back in time. But in that film, they kind of showed that no matter how much he tried to save the female character by going back in time, he never could. She always still ended up dying. So that's the kind of thing that we're looking at. It means that I think the best way to describe this is, imagine you've got a gate in the middle of a room. On one side is the present, on the other side is a day in the future. If you were standing on one side of this gate and and the you from a day in the future walked through this gate, shook your hand, and walked back through again to continue his life, it doesn't matter what happens in that next 24 hours for you in the present, exactly 24 hours in the future, you will walk through that gate backwards in time to shake the hand of yourself a day in the past, because that has already happened to you. It doesn't matter how much you decide you're against it. It doesn't matter how far you travel away from this gate. Somehow, you will end up back at this gate, walking through it to shake the hand of yourself a day in the past, because it's been written the past can't be changed and everything in the universe has to make sense. I think that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. If you want more videos like these, let me know. Apart from that, bunny out, bitches! What's cracking, bunny boys? My name is Bunny Tears.